So Charles, as we're trying to get into the holiday season, right? We've focused on Black Friday. We've focused on everything else that's been going on. Everybody's getting ready for SHOT Show, and in the outdoor space, the Overland Expos are about to start kicking off. And one of the things that I know that's really critical that you've been doing specifically at Buying Freedom Group is working on getting reduced shipping rates. And I'll keep it very high level at that and then let you kind of expand into exactly how you're doing that and what it means to the consumers, the retailers, and the manufacturers that are all utilizing the BFG ecosystem. So I'll let you expand.
Yeah, so shipping has been a challenge, especially in the outdoor and shooting space industry, which ironically is one that's heavily driven by drop shipping and single item shipments, almost more so than any other retail segment, right? So if you are a manufacturer and you want to offer drop shipping, right, or you're a dealer and you want to be relevant in the e-commerce space, well, that's a huge can of worms. And even if you get the sale through marketing, right, through advertising, well, the margin's pretty low on firearms, right? So now you've done a ton of work to do the marketing to get the sale for like a few points. And then now, oh, great, you've got to ship this item across country. And that's going to cost you $35, $45, up to $65 for second day shipping on a firearm, which we all know if you're in the industry, right, you have to do next day, or sometimes you can do second day air to ship a handgun. So immediately all of your profit from generating that sale can get wiped away just from your shipping charges. So we've worked really hard by partnering with the carriers to offer world-class shipping rates, really for anything, but specifically for firearms, handguns, rifles, and ammunition. Because there's a few pieces here, right? If you are able to save $5, $10, $15 on shipping a firearm, that allows you to either, right, keep more margin or become more competitive by lowering your product cost. So lots of strategies here with this, but yeah, Ryan, I know you've got a ton of experience in the e-commerce space. What are some shipping challenges that you've seen historically that you think we can help solve?
Man, I mean, there's so much, right? In the retail space, you typically solve a lot of these shipping issues with either fulfillment by, like FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. Utilizing a 3PL is another really common one. But in the firearm space specifically, right? Anything serialized, so suppressors or physical firearms, the 3PL model just simply doesn't work because everybody has to have an FFL. There's so much regulation, and it's just really complex. So I know one of the things that you and I were talking about is that in order to be able to ship second day air, right, for just a pistol, we'll keep it really simple right now, you have to maintain a certain volume of shipments. Was it per day? Something, I don't remember the exact nuance
Per
that you
day.
gave me, but yeah, if you'd share that with everybody, I think that one's really critical because the delta between a second day air and a next day air shipment can be huge. And so if we're trying to figure out like where are the highest margins that we're able to help provide, I think that's one of the critical points.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are a dealer and you're not doing 100 plus firearm shipments a day, with most of the carriers like UPS, for instance, you have to ship next day air. So now we're talking, typically $50 to $60 just to ship that item. With BFG Shipping, we actually can bring you in under our shipping umbrella. And even if you are a small mom and pop, or you've got a new strategy to get into e-commerce, now you as a small company can have shipping rates that are going to rival some of the biggest companies out there. So it gives you a huge tactical advantage to become a player in the e-commerce space, specifically in the firearms. And if you're an existing company, even a manufacturer or distributor, right, we can likely save you significantly with also flat rate, right? That's the other piece That's a real struggle for retailers when you're trying to figure out your pricing strategy, because consumers expect, flat rate or fee or free shipping. So, you might set a flat rate of, let's just call it, $25 for your shipping, but then you end up having to ship from, Florida to Oregon, and now you are losing big on that order. With BFG shipping, it's actually flat rate across the country. So it gives you predictability in your revenue model.
That makes a lot of sense. I know that we were talking, I don't remember exactly who it was that we were talking to the other day, but they were commenting about how expensive some of their shipping is to Alaska. And not surprising, I think, to most people in the firearm space, when you actually put your thinking cap on for a second, a lot of guns going to Alaska. And that's a very expensive shipment, especially when you have to do it next day versus 2 day. So not only are you able to get the 2 day air rate, which is a significant savings, but then even on that specific rate, there's a savings, because we're combining the power of all of our shipments into trying to get a specific rate. Are there certain carriers? Is there certain, what hoops does a manufacturer or a retailer have to jump through to be part of this program with BFG?
Yeah, so the best thing would be just to reach out to us. Right? We can run an analysis on your current shipping rates, and really, we're not gatekeeping this. So whether you're a manufacturer or a startup dealer, we can get you connected, with some incredible rates. Primarily right now, we're using UPS for our firearm shipments, but we've also got great solutions for those like smaller parcel shipments as well. That's going to let you be competitive, even with accessories. So yeah, if you ship anything, really it's worth the 20 or 30 minutes to chat with us, because we've got some pretty compelling strategies that we've put together for the industry.
So, Charles, if somebody, and I'm just thinking out loud here, so tell me if this is a bad idea. It could be, it could not be. But you just said it takes about 20 or 30 minutes. I think that's reasonable. I know we're rolling into SHOT Show and people are getting pretty busy, but I think that's pretty reasonable amount of time for somebody to spend looking to potentially make a significant ROI off of a piece of technology. Um, what are your thoughts? Like, what do we need them to provide to us? Just a set of shipping invoices over the past 6 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, yeah. If you've got your own carrier accounts, then of course, us being able to look at them and give you an exact dollar amount, right? Of, hey, how much would you have saved in that last 6 months based on what you were shipping? We can kind of run that analysis for you. Now, that said, a lot of people are using, maybe something like ShipStation or another aggregated shipping solution. So if you're using ShipStation for firearms, 100%. That might be the most valuable thing you do through the end of the year, is to talk to us, because we'll be able to give you, at the end of the day, save you money, but also give you a better platform from a compliance standpoint too, for shipping regulated goods.
I love that. So if you have an account, basically you can bring your account to us. We can then run the analysis. What are your thoughts, Charles, on if we run the analysis and we can't beat your shipping rates? I'll give you $100 Amazon gift card. You've
Yeah,
confident enough in
let's
your
do it.
rates to be able to say that?
Yeah, for firearms especially. Yeah, yeah. If you're shipping
Okay.
you know, a a leaf or something, maybe not, right? But yeah, for ammunition, for firearms, we can make that happen.
Okay, so we'll say on anything serialized, that shoot us over your account. We'll run the analysis. It'll be a quick phone call. And again, if we can't save you money, I don't want anybody to waste time ever. We're here to save you money. We're here to save you time. We're here to add efficiency to your daily routines within this space. And so if I consume 30 minutes of your time, I want to make sure that you either end up with a much better rate, or lunch on the house, I guess we could say.
There you go. Yeah, and at the end of the day, right, more options are always better. Um, Maybe you've got a certain carrier that you work with, right? But there's regional differences, there's product size differences, and that's the cool thing, right? We work really closely with our partners. So if we get a dealer or manufacturer that comes on and they're shipping some dimensional box, right, that isn't common, at least, to what we've seen, we can actually then go and, do some volume estimates off of even specific weights and sizes, which is especially good, again, if you're a manufacturer and you've got a tree stand or an e-bike that you need to ship, right? That's where we can really get creative, and get you very customized rates on those types of things as well.
Cool. And so as far as we'll just call it the BFG shipping rate is concerned, is that all native in the BFG ecosystem? And then we can expand beyond. So let's say, I don't know if I want to name any names here. You know what? I will. I'm going to call it Shadow Systems. Shadow Systems is on WooCommerce or Magento or BigCommerce, right? And man, I'm shipping a ton of guns, onesies, twosies here and there, and I just need to reduce my rate. Do I have to join Buying Freedom Group and be one of the participating manufacturers? Or can I just connect these rates to my existing e-commerce store as well?
Yeah, you can just connect these existing rates. So, some caveats, right? Because we want to make sure that you are not getting in trouble with, all those regulated items. So the nice thing is we do have integration into WordPress, into WooCommerce, into even NetSuite. And that's actually going to be checking, hey, is this firearm being shipped correctly before it goes out the door? So that is one requirement if you want to take advantage of the BFG rates, is that you're using our platform, which is also providing a service in that it's kind of covering your butt, and when it comes to not sending handguns ground, for instance.
Yep. Yeah. So, and the shipping regulations are, I don't want to say confusing. They're not nearly as confusing as the regulations on social media, right, in this industry, but they're still complex. Is a suppressor considered a firearm because it has a serial number? Is it considered a long gun or a short gun? Is it, is NFA this, that, and the other? It's a lot simpler, I think, to just trust in an ecosystem that's built around the firearms industry, as opposed to something you mentioned, ShipStation earlier. ShipStation's a great platform. When I worked at BigCommerce, we sold it. It was phenomenal, but it is in no way, shape, or form geared for the firearms industry. So it is up to you, the physical retailer, the physical retailer, the physical shipper, to ensure that compliance is being followed. And I think we all know right now that compliance in the firearm space in the country is pretty intense. And so you definitely don't want to get caught doing something you're not supposed to do, whether you're doing it or not. So I think that's another piece of beauty behind this whole thing, is that it is specifically built for our industry, and that can go a long way.
For sure. So yeah, that's again the great thing, right? If you're watching this and you ship anything, or you would like to be more competitive in that, just drop us a line, and we'd love to chat.
Apologies for the whistle. My dog's eating a cactus that he's not supposed to be eating. Yeah, he comes to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and then he just goes off on these tangents of eating things that he's not supposed to, so that Dad has to clean up after him. So, anyways, it is what it is.
There's not much worse to eat than a cactus. So,
you go to Grandma and Grandpa's, you're supposed to get candy and treats, not just eat sharp things. The guy lives in the desert; he should know better. But what are you gonna do? That's the way it goes. But and to say too, like, the reason we're here visiting family is it's the Christmas season. Again, want to say a very Merry Christmas to everybody that's out there that's watching. And I know it's a tough time of the year to be doing work stuff and family stuff. We'll make sure that we put all the links and the QR codes and the this and the that, so that you can reach out to us anytime. I hope all of your shipping for the Christmas holiday makes it to you in time, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we'll see you out at SHOT Show.
Sounds good. Thanks, Charles.